Disney Plus dropped another brand new movie on Friday. Clouds is now streaming and I watched it, and I'll let you know what I think about it and whether I think you should watch it or not. Well, hello there. My name's Jeremy and welcome back to Freeform Disney, where I talk about all aspects of Disney, from the animated movies to the theme parks to Star Wars, Marvel, and Pixar, and the TV shows, and everything else in between. And that is why it's Freeform. And keep coming back every day for new daily content. If you're not subscribed yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Today it's a spoiler-free review of the new movie Clouds over on Disney Plus. Disney describes the movie with this long old description of, based on an incredible true story, 17-year-old Zach Sobiech is a fun-loving high school senior with raw musical talent. But a few weeks into his senior year, just after asking out his longtime crush, Zach's world gets turned upside down when he finds out his cancer has spread, leaving him with a life expectancy of just 6 months. With the limited time he has left, he and his best friend and writing partner Sammy decide to follow their dreams and finally make an album. Little do they know they'll soon become a viral music phenomenon. But with time running out, Zach is confronted with the reality that no matter how he spends his time, he is going to hurt the people he loves the most, including Amy, the love of his life. As Zach's health conditions begin to worsen, he is left to make difficult decisions about how to spend his time and, more importantly, with whom. Ultimately, he discovers the best way to say goodbye is with music, and his hit song Clouds is born. With an unfiltered, heartbreaking, and beautiful look at the duality of life set to uplifting music, Zach's inspiring story is a testament to what can happen when you start to live as if each day might be your last. Now, this movie is based on a true story, and it is told from Zach's perspective with some narration, and it takes place over a relatively condensed period of time. This movie was lovingly put together with a ton of involvement actually from his family and friends. The movie was directed by Justin Baldoni, and Justin Baldoni has a big personal connection because he met Zach Sobiech years earlier before he died, and directed a documentary episode of My Last Days about him. Now, as a movie director, he's still fairly new, as his feature directorial debut was last year's not-too-loved 5 Feet Apart, which was a title that almost could be used for this pandemic now, couldn't it? Yeah. He's much better known for his acting, actually, especially on Jane the Virgin. I will have to comment, in fairness, that his lack of experience as a director does show through on occasion, but overall I think he did a pretty nice job with this movie. And it is written by Kara Holden, who has a history of writing inspirational movies. And it is based on Zach Sobiech's mother's memoir, which recounted Zach's life. It's a book titled Fly a Little Higher, How God Answered a Mom's Small Prayer in a Big Way. Now, while that title features religion clearly and heavily, and Zach's family was certainly religious, the movie is not a religious movie. Something, for me, I'm quite grateful for. So don't worry, there's no beating your head over with religious messages in this movie. Really, it is a drama about these characters. And that just happens to be an aspect that is true about that family. Now, the movie stars Finn Argus and Sabrina Carpenter. Finn Argus is playing Zach Sobiech, and we actually recently saw him in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s final season. Although I'm going to avoid naming who we saw him play, as that's still recent enough to definitely be a spoiler I don't want to reveal. But hey, you watch my videos on Season 7, you can go find it. Let's just say that you couldn't quite see his whole face in the character he was playing. How's that sound? Now, Finn Argus's performance is the key to this whole movie working, and he does a splendid job. He was engaging, funny, sympathetic, and most importantly, relatable. Sabrina Carpenter is over there playing his best friend, Sammy. Now, she certainly has the second biggest role in this movie, and the person we most look to for our way into the movie as someone other than Zach. So having to watch your best friend who you deeply care about going through all this. And by the way, she excels here. Now, an interesting note, both of these two actors are also singers as well. And, well, they certainly bring their strengths here where it is needed to portray the real-life singers of Zach and Sammy. And let me say, while those two are the biggest characters, we have a number of other important characters. And also, I have zero qualms about any of their acting. They were all well cast and they gave good performances. Madison Iseman goes ahead and plays Zach's girlfriend Amy, and you feel for her and you also love the character. Neve Campbell, who's of fame from her time starring in the Scream movies, plays Zach's mother, and definitely a character we see a ton of, and so well done. Now, for a surprise empathetic character who I really love, it was Lil Rel Howery, who plays the school teacher Mr. Henry. I've seen him in Get Out, Bird Box, and now this, and he's got a great way of portraying super relatable characters who you would just love to hang out with, really. So yeah, great cast. Do I think you should go ahead and watch Clouds? Yes, I definitely do. It's a solid movie. It's neither the greatest thing since sliced bread, nor is it just some mediocre way to pass the time. This is a movie that I think most people will go ahead and enjoy. It can be a tearjerker, most certainly, which should be unsurprising given the nature of the movie and what it's about. And it also succeeds at being inspirational, if not quite moving you to get off the couch and go start trying to live your best life. It just doesn't quite have that kind of drive, but it's still inspirational nonetheless. This is a movie that I thought sounded interesting from the trailer, but I'll admit that if it weren't for me doing Freeform Disney as a channel, it may have been a movie that would have simply been added to the queue of potential movies that I might watch someday, and I would probably never have gotten around to seeing it. In fact, when I did watch it, I actually wasn't really feeling like watching it over the many other things I could have been doing. But guess what? The movie won me over. The characters were compelling, the relationships were interesting, it felt believable. Even down to some of the details of how it affected family members and friends. Just these little pieces that were so nice to add in, but didn't have to be there. The movie turned out to be much better than I expected it to be. Now, for what it's worth, let me also say that it's not a movie I'll probably ever watch again. And that's okay. There are many movies which I have watched once and don't feel the need to come back to again. That doesn't mean it's a bad movie. Just different movies for different moods. And some people certainly probably will come back to it again and again. Some last notes on the movie here. The acting, as I've said, is one of the highlights all around. The movie could perhaps have been a little shorter, but still holds your attention even during the slowest portions. There are some great songs in here, which should be unsurprising considering. Now, if this movie doesn't get to you emotionally, I would be surprised. It certainly did get to me, let me tell you and be honest there. Especially one moment in there, but there's a few. And I look forward to seeing all of these actors in whatever they work on next. And one last thing, I tried to avoid spoilers here in this review, but I should note that much of this is already out there as it's based on a recent true story. For me, it was actually fresh. I hadn't followed that news or even heard about the song Clouds before. And that, well, certainly I don't think it hurt my viewing of the movie at all. It was definitely something I enjoyed watching. So go ahead, check it out up on Disney Plus over there. And well, what about you? Did you like the movie Clouds? And would you like to see me give some extended spoiler-filled thoughts about the movie? Let me know down below in the comments. And thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a like, a share, and don't forget to subscribe. It really helps out. And I'll be back again tomorrow for another new episode of Freeform Disney. Have a magical day, and may the Force be with you. Always.